Good afternoon, communication comms club lovers. It's only me, a quick one this afternoon, and the question is, are you afraid to ask for help? So excuse the different positioning, but as you can tell, the sun is beautiful today. It's so bright. I've had to reposition myself slightly so that I didn't look like an apparition, because the sun makes me look so pale. Anyway, my question back to the matter in hand, don't be afraid to ask for help. And this really struck me because when we work with a skill like communication, people are often hesitant to put their hand up and say, I need a little bit of help, please. Where does the reluctance come from? I don't know. Maybe it's just the vulnerability of saying, I don't think I nail this properly. Or maybe they think they should know better. Maybe people think at their age they should know differently. Sometimes people have been doing a job or finding themselves in a situation so often they just think that they should be better by now. And I want to dispel a bit of a myth, because I had another conversation today with a gentleman who said he wanted some help with presentation skills. And he said, lots of people I watch are so uncomfortable presenting, but every now and again I watch someone who's such a natural and I want to feel like that. And I thought to myself, do you know what? That person wasn't born with great communication skills. They weren't a great presenter from the point at which they could speak. All that happened was somebody taught them a handful of simple techniques that they could use in those situations. Because no matter how good you think you are, hi Hills, no matter how good you think you are, it takes a long time to be great through trial and error, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. And the whole way through that trial and error is a horrible thing. What I love to do is to say, do you know what? Relax. You don't have to be born with great skills. Let me show you the tiny techniques that you can use to be better in these situations. And it got me thinking, because lots of people contact me in stealth mode. They message and say, my husband needs a little bit of help with this. Is that something that you could help with? Or they message me and say, it might not be something that you're able to do, but I am about to apply for this job, or I want to do this and I'm stuck. Can you help? As if it's something to be ashamed of. And you know what? I just love it when people reach out. And Hilary, this is what I need so much. Well, my darling, you're going to learn all sorts of new skills because you have enrolled in the Comms Hub and you are about to learn everything you need to know to communicate. And as I was saying to this gentleman today, the skills that he'll learn, that he wants to be able to use speaking out loud in front of groups in a work capacity, is the same skill he'll be able to use socially when he wants to raise a toast at somebody's birthday party. It's the same skill he'll use when he wants to give a best man speech, or it's the same skill that he will be able to use with his team when he's not speaking in a formal situation. So, skill, they're just things you learn. You don't need to be born with them. Don't fear that. Belinda, it's lovely to see you here. Another member of the Comms Hub. So Belinda has signed up so that her daughter and grandchildren can get access to the skills that I share in there. And you know what? It really made me think, who do we know that maybe isn't in this community but could do with a little bit of help? Because it's fascinating to me. The more I speak to people and coach people individually, it's the same stuff that I coach. It will be nuanced to their particular situation, but it will be the same stuff. So at the moment, I'm working with a really incredible guy who's so capable in the medical field, and actually his Achilles heel, if you like, is interview skills. And it's the only thing. He's brilliant at his job. And I've seen the job descriptions of the type of jobs he does. I have no idea what 90% of that job description means. And no way could I pull off a job like that. He can. But actually what he's missing is a set of tiny little skills and techniques that he can put in place to get him comfortable in showing the best of his ability. The gentleman I talked to today, incredibly important and powerful job in banking. No way that I could do that job. But actually, what he wants to do is rid himself of those feelings of anxiety when he knows he's got a presentation coming up where he's got to speak to an audience, field questions, deliver content, or just be there as the head of his department to, in the ever-changing world of banking. And what I would love to do is save him from feeling that anxiety and that knot in his stomach and the nerves and the build-up. Because I'm sure when he gets into his groove and he's talking about his sphere of influence, that's his genius. I can't do that no more than I could talk about what Hillary knows inside out, what Belinda knows inside out. But what I can do is give people like that and people like you the skills to allow you to relax in the run-up, to know how to prepare well to speak in those scenarios, to be able to manage your nerves, to control your voice, to build rapport, to get your message across clearly, to enjoy the experience, and actually make sure that you never turn down a scenario. And this gentleman today said, I've turned down 2 jobs that I should have applied for because I knew with that promotion came the necessity to speak more in public scenarios. And that, it makes me hurt inside, because I think, do you know what, the world needs people who've got a skill set to be the best of their game. And even if what you talk about is a charity that you're associated with, if it's you are the person that sorts out all the family discombobulation that you've got going on, no matter who your audience, I want you to step into the prowess of having great communication skills. And if you love somebody who can't do that, especially if they're a man, because in my experience, men are less likely to reach out and say, could you just help me with this? And it was interesting speaking to some of the men I've been working with recently. One guy said to me, you will be my 4th communication coach in 4 years. And I thought, who are these other 3 imposters? But it was interesting. One, he said it was very theatrical and it just was irrelevant to him. The second was an actress, and they just said, she was more interested in talking about how she prepared to speak rather than helping me to do what I needed to do. He said, and the third coach wanted to dig into his childhood to unleash all of the sorrow that caused him to have the anxiety about public speaking. And I said to him, okay, so I'm not sure that you and I are a great fit, but all I'm going to do is teach you some little skills to use that won't require you to dig into your deep and dark past. They won't need you to analyse yourself. I'm going to teach you new things. You adopt them as skills and use them over and over again and just watch what happens. And almost instantly, I could see just the relief for him, thinking, great, so I'm not officially broken. I've not had some sort of traumatic childhood that means now I get nervous about speaking out loud. And you could see him think, I just want someone to teach me how to do this, like they've taught him how to do every other element of his job. And I work with lots of people who have applied for jobs and find themselves in jobs that are their absolute passion. But somewhere in that job, speaking in front of other people is required. And actually it's the one thing they hate, and they worry for 2 months of the year that the annual presentation's coming up. They hate it. They just try and survive it. And then they spend 6 weeks, beating themselves up about what it was like and how they didn't do well. And then they go back to the normal elements of their job. I don't want that to be their reality. So my question to you is, don't ever be afraid to ask for support, because for all you know, you could reach out to me and say, actually, I'm going to be finding myself in this situation coming up. There could be another 6 or 7 people that I'm currently talking to who are going to find themselves in that scenario in 6 or 7 weeks' time. And I could get you all together and share the same information with you as a little group. And if you're sitting at home or looking at somebody over the dining room table this evening, or in the shared office from someone that you think, I would love him or her to feel less anxious about that element of communication, then do me a favour, reach out to me, introduce me to them, let me see what I know that could help them. It's not brain surgery and it's not banking, it's plain old communication, but this stuff matters. And what I'm going to suggest to all of these people, and that's why I'm so excited for the likes of Hillary and Belinda who are joining me live right now, why I'm so excited for you guys is because you have chosen to join the Comms Hub from day one. And what that means is you will find it naturally easier to keep up with the information because you're right there in the first and second month of its evolution. Because for all of these people that I'm working with on an ad hoc basis, I'm going to say, look, come on in and join the content as it evolves over time. But you guys, you get to start with the absolute foundations first, and then we build on that month on month. So for you, it's going to be a doddle. And if you're watching this and thinking, yeah, I meant to get round to that, the price goes up on Good Friday this week. So see today as Good Monday, because any week that starts with a Good Friday surely starts with a Good Monday. So don't mess around, don't wait. There's no minimum sign up here. If you don't like it and it's not what you expected, then you can opt out as soon as you've joined. But get in the hub and let me show you these skills. So I just wanted to say, never be afraid to ask for help, because you'll find it is far simpler. And the other thing I always remind people of is when you articulate something that you want help with, it instantly loses its power, because that presentation skill, that interview technique, if you don't verbalize it to someone and get some help, then all that happens is the self-talk starts and that dialogue begins. It says, oh, getting ready to go up there again. You know you're not going to be very good. Remember last time how awkward you felt? What did you do at the end when they asked you that question? Or you know your mind goes blank in interview situations. That's the voice. The minute you choose to take that dialogue and own it and say, I would like some help to do this, it doesn't control you anymore. You own it. It does not overpower you. So if you need specific help one-to-one, or you know somebody else that does, would you do me a favour? Find the courage to reach out and let me help you. And also, if you are in a work environment and you think, do you know what, in our office, we'd all benefit from this, and you don't actually want to fund it, then get your boss to allow me to come in and play at your workplace with your whole entire team. Imagine the fun that we would have if I came in to wherever you work and took your team and your buddies or your peer group and we did this stuff. They might even fund it on a one-to-one basis for you. So many of the people that I work with, I say, you know, this is a business skill, right? You're coming here because you want to use it in a business capacity. Speak to your HR department. This is, self-development. And so many of them get funding directly from their employers. And that means you can stop the clock. And just like Diane said, the self-talk has stopped her so many times. So we need this voice to be louder than this voice. And then you'll ask for help, and then change occurs. So don't be hesitant to ask for help if you need it. I am here. I'm the comms coach in your corner. I'm excited whether you're in the comms club, whether you're in the comms hub, or whether we work together on a one-to-one basis. I'm just excited to be able to share what I do, what I know, because it has the power to make tiny little differences and permanent change in your experience. And that excites me hugely. Right, I'm going to go. I'm going to leave you alone to enjoy your happy Monday afternoon. And I will see you back here very, very soon. Lots of love for now. Bye.